Okay, let's talk a little Supreme Court stuff. Right now, over the last couple of days, they have been arguing the idea was they were going to argue the Birthright Citizenship bill, which is birthright citizenship in the 14th Amendment. If you are born on American soil, you are an American. Period. End of sentence. It is as plain as day in the Constitution. It is what it is, and it is really getting under Donald Trump's skin. He does not like the fact that, anchor babies are coming over here and they're dropping them off and they don't want to leave because they got their kids and you don't want me to do the family separation and I love to do the family separation. Huh? Anyway, so they know the attorney who is arguing Donald Trump's case knows that the 14th, trying to get rid of birthright citizenship through the 14th Amendment is a no-starter. It's a non-starter. It's no bueno. You might be able to get Clarence Thomas because that Uncle Tom will do anything for Donald Trump. And you might be able to get Alito, but arguing literal constitutional language with the 14th Amendment and birthright citizenship is not going to fly very well. So instead, they are arguing this cute little side thing, this side quest that the attorney is going for. And it's that district courts around the country are telling Donald Trump, no, you have to give these people due process. You cannot kick them out of the country all willy-nilly, and you can't use your executive orders to do so. You have to follow the law. The executive branch has its role. The judicial branch tells you whether or not it is legal to do. That is how the three branches of government work. There is a separation of powers, the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. And Tommy Tuberville, he, just to let you know, that's the three branches of government. It's not the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Just for you. But what the attorney is arguing is that these district judges that are telling Donald Trump, no, you are not allowed to do this, that is unfair and we don't like it. Now, of course, under Joe Biden, when he was trying to cancel student debt and the Fifth Circuit down in Texas, which is stacked full of right-wingers, and they kept telling him no, and then Joe Biden's like, all right, well, the court told me no. Let's see if I can find another way to do it. Let's find another way, to effectuate that kind of change in lessening people's load on student loans. A district court tells him no. Joe Biden goes, okay, it's a no. Can't do it that way. Donald Trump does not like that. So, but back then, when Joe Biden was trying to do that, you never heard any Republican say anything about any district court telling Joe Biden no. They would say, well, it's the law, President Biden. You're not allowed to do that. And the judge told you no, so you have to just shut up and go sit in the little corner and put on your little dunce cap. You can't have it. Well, now that it's Donald Trump, the shoe's on the other foot, and they are none too happy about it, especially Donald Trump. So the attorney is arguing that these district courts don't have they can't make a national decision. They can make a decision in their little district, but it can't go nationwide. Even though Donald Trump has been, butting up against it in every district he's gone to, they're all telling him the same thing because they all know what the law is. People get due process. They could kick you, Mr. White John Smith, out of the country without due process. And you're like, no, but I'm a citizen. Well, are you a citizen? How are you going to prove it? You didn't get due process. You didn't get your moment, to explain yourself or to show documentation. When the president and his ICE goons, Gestapo guys snatch you up off the street and send you to another country, you don't have time to get in front of a judge. You don't have time to show any paperwork. They just lock you away. And that is what he's arguing. He's arguing that these district courts should only be in control of their own district and not be able to make a national judgment. And generally speaking, how it works is if a district court tells you no, then you can appeal it to the Supreme Court, but it takes time to get it in front of the Supreme Court. And Donald Trump just doesn't want to wait. He wants him out now. And he says he got a mandate. He got a mandate for the American people to do this fascist shit. First of all, his people that voted for him, I guarantee you the majority of them did not know that he was going to go this fascist. And also, a mandate, kiss my ass. You got 49.5%, and you beat Kamala Harris's 48.7%. Yeah, man, that's a mandate. You didn't even get 50%. I know you won the majority, but you didn't get 50%. So you can just kiss my ass. You missed me with that shit, dog. But so the attorney was arguing in front of, all of the Supreme Court justices, and, you don't get to see it because they don't allow cameras in the court, but they recorded the whole thing. And so you're listening to like Justice Kagan ask him questions. It's like, it seems to me that you are doing everything you can to not argue the birthright citizenship case, but yet come to the same result. And he's like, no, that's not it. And she kept grilling him about it until finally he basically admitted, well, Donald Trump doesn't want me to try that case. He wants me to do this district court thing. So then Amy Coney Barrett, who was Donald Trump's last Supreme Court pick, and she is very conservative, she just asked the question. She's like, well, wouldn't it be better if you would allow them to have time to show their paperwork before you ship them out of a country or before you put them in jail? Wouldn't it be better to allow them the time to prepare and have due process? Oh my God, MAGA has lost their mind. They are putting out memes of Amy Coney Barrett with MS-13 tattoos on her face. They're essentially calling her a terrorist. And they're calling her a liberal and a commie. And it was the worst thing that Donald Trump did. All because she asked a question. We don't know which way she's going to vote on this. But all she did was ask a question. And that is way too much for the hardcore right-wing base. They went apeshit on her. So, I mean, be careful with the, like, you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. If you lay down with fascist dogs, you get fascist fleas. So I'm just saying it ain't looking good. But at the same time, I don't know how this is going to play out. It's very well could. They have a 6-3 majority in the Supreme Court. So they very well could come to some kind of arrangement where they give Donald Trump what he wants. Because ultimately, that is kind of what the Supreme Court's been doing. They've been trying to give Donald Trump what he wants, but yet still have some kind of legal plausibility to do so because they want to look like they still maintain the power of the judicial branch. And, by giving Donald Trump everything he wants, it looks like they kind of don't. But, recently, Chief Justice John Roberts, he spoke about Donald Trump flouting the laws and the rules that, that he's been breaking in regards to sending people out of the country. And in almost the same breath of John Roberts, almost the same breath in saying that it's not good what Donald Trump is doing, he turns around and he blames the school system for not teaching enough civics for the kids to understand that now the kids are grown up and they're voting for Donald Trump. Dude, who do you think cuts funding for school more? Democrats or Republicans? And by the way, this is on you, John Roberts. You literally are the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and you just last year just passed a law saying that Donald Trump, if he considers it a presidential act, it is not illegal. That was you, John Roberts. This fuck up is you. You have given the president king powers. And now you're going to, what? Blame shift it from you to the school system for not teaching kids civics? Oh my God. Kiss my fucking ass, man. Seriously. I'm losing my fucking mind over here. We have 3 branches of government, and it just seems like None of those branches are getting in the way of Donald Trump in any way. They're allowing him to just run roughshod over the Constitution and the rule of law. And, hell, the Constitution was based on the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta principle was due process. And if Donald Trump, due process is just too much work, man, it's too hard. It takes too much time. What do you want me to do? Spend time and money, having judges, rule over these cases? That just takes too much time. And the American people gave me the mandate. Remember the mandate that I keep lying about over and over again? They gave me that fucking mandate to kick all these people out. And I'm going to do that because I don't like brown people. Meanwhile, you got yourself quite a few white South Africans that you brought in. Yeah? Oh, yeah. No, it's a genocide. Genocide, yeah, in South Africa. I mean, there is a genocide going on somewhere else. I can't remember where. But no. There's a genocide in South Africa, and it's all a white genocide, and you people are not reporting on it. You're not reporting on it. So, brown people, be gone, bitches. But the white people can stay. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.